You guys know this guy? This guy who's so obsessed with ranking up? He bought my coaching and ranked up. This is how it went. Alright, first issue is the way he enters sight. So as you can see, when he entered, he didn't look to the right first. He sort of did a W and D peek into going sight when he should have just used A to clear the right side first, then D to clear the common angle that everyone plays here back sight, and then he would slice the pie to make sure he doesn't overexpose to heaven, which he is overexposed to heaven right now. And then he's still holding the same angle and he's transferring to heaven way too late. And after he's exposing himself to heaven without looking heaven and looking at a nade, and he could have died from heaven. That's the biggest issue for now. Now let's keep going. So he's never really pre-aiming, so if they were there, he would have never had Piku's advantage and he wouldn't have been ready for the fight. And after here, he dinks him. Perfect. But as you can see, his pre-aim is starting to be thrown off. He's aiming too much to the right here. He should be pre-aiming to the left of the angle, because if he comes out, this is what happens, is that your pre-aim is off, and then after you're not ready for the fight. And you need to make a bigger adjustment than what is needed if you actually pre-aim that. And then after, he stops to shoot very early because he's, oh my god, the sky came out, I didn't expect it. So then he panics. Instead, what he should have done, instead of panicking, he should have just kept moving in one direction towards the left, throw off the sky's aim, and make him stand still and body shot him once. But he didn't do that, so that makes the fight really hard for him. So here, after getting the kill, he should scale up, or either not make sound and wait for someone on an off timing on site, right? Call these shit, but it's okay. But here he's making a lot of sound and doing a weird pathing. He went from left to right, right? Instead of just scaling sight. And then after he's looking at the smoke, it's fading because of how slow he is of scaling into sight. Now he's sort of taking a 1v1 if he was there. But here, the problem is his pre-aim is very off, like round 1. Onto a common angle that everyone plays to hold main, and he's overexposing to heaven right after. This is problematic. After he sees one back sight, but he's planting. What he should have done, he should go pinch back sight with your teammates to make it a 2v3 in the round and make the advantage. And after he keeps planning, and now he knows the Cypher's pushing him. He wants to look right side, but too late. He didn't pinch earlier. He's panning in the open where they know there's two backside and one's planning, because their Cypher knows that, oh, he's getting pushed by Chamber and Omen. And then he knows the last guy planted because it's REYNA who planted. So the guy's stairs would know, okay, they're all backside and one on plant. So he just swings for free. Clove was probably rotating, and last guy we really don't care, right? So they had an Omen smoke here, and they had an Omen smoke there. And then after, the Omen blinded all the backside. Like we said, she in this case did not push the guy backside. He went to plant the bomb instead, and that caused them to lose a lot of time into the round. What should have happened is that after Omen blinded and their Chamber blinded, the Cypher wouldn't have a chance but to push towards Mossi, because if he goes towards them, he dies. So then Mossi, if he didn't plant or he pushed them, he would have killed him with the Spectre that he picked up on the ground, right? But in this case, nothing happened. So here, what happens is that their Cypher goes this way, Mossi's letting him come out, and these two are backside, right? We know they're not heaven, because if someone was heaven, they would have killed them, right? If, for example, let's pretend that the third guy was heaven, they would have killed him, but there was no one heaven. So that's for sure, and this smoke faded. So here what happened is that the Clove that was towards B went all the way here because he could tell that two guys were pushing backside due to the comms, due to the fact that Cypher's running here. So he has a free kill on our boy REYNA, because first REYNA didn't pinch and REYNA doesn't expect them to rotate. Okay, pre-fired that. Perfect. He went back. This is the important thing, guys. So he never overexposed to the other angle. That's why Clove didn't punish him. However, his Omen dies, right? Whenever your teammate dies, what's important is not to rush it and be ready mentally to win the fight. Here, as we can see, he sort of rushed to conclusion. His pre-aim is super off, and he's using W key to swing, which is what we are all recommended not to do. And he sprays, you know? So I don't know why the quality is so bad, but it's replay. W. What's very important here is that when you're going around the corner, especially this angle, like I said, you slice it, slice it, slice, slice. Do not W like this, because you're overexposing and you're doing a slow peek towards the person that's playing there. So he knows his teammates died in shriek, but the pre-aim was very rushed. As we can see, when he opened the door, he was already aiming at the general angle. What if someone was here? He should have been pre-aiming to the left, the middle, then the right. But here he rushed it, and after tried to track it, he missed it. And then he rushed a shot again, and the biggest issue here was movement. He strafed back into his shot, and he died because of it. So what he could have done instead, you go like this, slice, 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 prepare, and kill. You slice, you slice, you slice, then you know, peek. Okay? And here what's important is that you don't go back into your strafe, because people are aiming here. And then if you go back into their strafe, you're just going back into what their original crosshair placement was. But if you keep going out, they need to track all the way here, and you have a lot of time for yourself to kill them. Flash, nice, really good. I would say just be careful when you're throwing a flash, that you don't throw the flash in the open like he did. Maybe he could have died, but in this case he didn't, so it's all good. Here, the problem is the double flash. Your teammates are for sure not going in, because look at their placement. They're like sort of hesitating, and you wasted already 2 flashes. You're not pre-aiming anywhere, but it's okay. There's a flash, I guess. But both flashes will disappear a bit too early. You know, if you separated, the timing would have been a bit different. And then after, apparently someone flanked them from A. But since you guys were so slow at going in, they can do whatever they want. So what that means is, for example, you're taking the site, right? There's no smokes. You're flashing 2 times. So 1, 2. Your raise is not double satcheling in, and your chamber's just baiting the raise right behind them. You, at this point, should give up on the take. Why? Because your teammates are still here. Your teammates were baiting towards C with the bomb. The bomb was towards C. So there's like no point in going, right? So what I would recommend to do in this case is you let them go in, you stay here in your passive angle, and you keep holding upper for your teammates, and you don't need to go in. We know you're a duelist, but there's no point, right? And after your teammates die, you're dead, and you're dead. Oh, he wouldn't expect you to, he would expect you to, no, he would not expect you to be that deep, you know? Like that much behind the box. So maybe you would have had a chance, and maybe that clove on the enemy team would have been very stupid. Maybe this guy would have been stupid, and you could have killed him from behind too. Just understand that once people are slow at stuff, for sure is that you guys try to take C, didn't work. So the people that are playing C, for example, let's pretend there's a Brim. Brim would stay on C because you guys open tree. There's a chance you faked it. The open door, there's a chance you're faking it to go C, so he would stay. The players B would play off of the map, off the site all the way here. There's no one there for sure. And the rest, we know that people on Lotus, they like to push up A a lot, right? They like to be aggressive a lot. So that's what happens, is that when you give up a lot of space and you're not taking the original site that you wanted to hit, which was C, you guys wanted to hit C, well, it didn't work. So what you guys did, you open door, but if you go door, the map control is dead. This guy has all of the control, and he can tell you guys, oh, they're going B, or they're just hiding. And you guys have no senti because it's chamber on your team, right? So they're like, oh, I know chamber's not lurking. Oh, I know they're not holding flank, because we know that they're going towards B, and we know that the rest are maybe in C link, or they're just here. So it's really important, you as the only guy that has a brain on your team, to realize, oh, my team's kind of stupid this round, so I'm gonna just stay here and hold for a flank. Maybe not even go B, go all the way back here, and go towards back of the flank, kill the other duelist maybe that's flanking with the clove. And yeah, maybe you saved the round that way. Really make sure to analyze, oh, what is my team actually doing? Are we getting some pressure so that they actually don't rotate from site or flank us? No, we didn't have that. And if we do not have pressure, we need to be ready for it. And make sure to not lose our brain cells in following these monkeys that just don't go in. So he's a bit slower this time compared to his Rays and his teammates. So that's good, because when you do that, you have a big chance of not dying to bullshit. The biggest problem here would be the pre-aim thing again. So he was a bit slow with his pre-aim there, and he didn't really expect it. And then he knows he's to the left, but is he perfectly pre-aiming there? No, he's sort of pre-aiming nowhere. And then after, the problem here is his movement. So in this case, what happened is that he moved to the right, and because he moved to the right, that messed up his aim. And that made the bullet go to the right with him, because of course you're displacing the shot. What should have happened is that he moved to the left with the Yoru, but he didn't. So that made the fight longer, okay? But that's fine. He kills him, right? He gets into cover. He sees that the Jett will come out. Nice shot, cross placement. Next issue is that we know Sky is in here, right? So that means one of the last players from the 3 are A. And it's a Sky, so big chance he flashes through the smoke, so you would expect it. But did he? Nope. So then after, later on, he just refights it. Problem here again is that he's doing opposite movements of what the person is doing. So that really messes up his aim. It's as if I'm shooting at this tree, but I want to aim at the middle, but I move like this. Or I move too far and I need to counteract that movement. However, what I can do is realign myself. So for example, I want to move to the tree and I'm aiming to the left. It's going to align perfectly, right? Like this. If I'm moving to the right, I move to the left. It's going to perfectly align. So what that means is that, for example, I want to aim towards the tree, but I move to the left, I would move to the right. So that I counteract that movement. And then I'm shooting towards the middle. If I'm moving to the right, I'm aiming towards the left with my mouse, and it's going to counteract that movement. Make sure to not move and aim without moving your mouse like this. Make sure to actually move your mouse and counteract that movement. And understand that the movement that you do, if you're aiming here and you want to keep aiming here, it can displace your aim and make the shot harder for yourself. Alright, this is kind of an example of what is a bad fight in general. And let's think about this way. I know they're retaking and like these people are just flanking to defuse the bomb, so you're just playing attack, right? But when you're pushing this or you're holding flank, hold it as a defender. So here, our boy, he jiggles it, pre-fires it, but he keeps coming out, right? And we know how hard this fight can be because it's the same thing as if you're pushing as a defender off rip, right? You're nading here and you're pushing. But we know that once you go all the way here, you're exposed to a lot of people. Plus, we know that people, once they come out of this angle, this is the first thing that they look at, right? So when they're coming out, they're always prepared for you. So for you to win the fight, you need to be really good mechanically, and you need to understand that you're in a disadvantage, and you shouldn't be scared about it. So here he got scanned by the Cypher ult, plus he knows that they're there. So what you should do, instead of just fighting it super far out and trying to hit really hard shots, what you do, you keep baiting, keep pre-firing, and condition them into isolating. So what that means is that I would be baiting the shots, and I would be playing a bit back. If he jumps on top of rubble, I can kill him. If I stay here, the enemy is less ready, and they're more scared, because they know that everyone else will be in this angle. But if you come out all the way here, you're isolating yourself from your teammates, and it's easy for them to kill you, and you're not going to get traded. But if you go back into a more passive angle or a better angle where you can hold the jump, plus the angle, your teammates are behind you, so that really plays a psychological, I would say what? Psychological threat to them, I guess. They would be less ready and less confident to win against you. Alright, he gets sight. So he saw one heaven, and on the map, he saw the clove, right? But here what's important is threat level. So the clove saw the gecko jump spot him, right? So what that means is that the clove wouldn't swing out to her REYNA first because she would be way too scared of her gecko. And you shouldn't focus on the clove because you have your own fight, which was JETT. And who has a better angle to fight you? JETT or clove? In this case, it's JETT. So what that looks like is this guy is looking at this. Clove swings out, guys. She's overexposing to gecko and REYNA. So she doesn't want that. So she's gonna chill here. However, if JETT comes out, she's only exposing herself to you. So she's not scared to take a 1v1. First, she has dash, plus she's maybe confident because she thinks she's a name demon, and she knows you can't get traded if you do kill him. So he's not scared. There's a lot of factors that makes him confident. A few last rounds. They're on 13. So here, first for context, he was playing tucked in into this angle. It's really good because people, of course, they clear it once they get to this point, right? So for example, they're rushing. They're only going to clear this corner once they're up here, right? But if they're here, what's good is that instead of swinging this angle where you're exposed to this, you're exposed to this, and this, you play here, you're only exposed to here, right? This is the only thing you're exposed to. So if you're only exposed to this angle, well, what's important is that when you're playing this angle and you're coming out aggressively as a defense player, you only look towards this angle. You're not playing tucked in the corner, you're playing as an off angle holding this. So what our REYNA's doing is amazing. However, they're not pushing A. So what happens? Let's see. So he goes back. They're sort of towards C, and he didn't expect this jet. Let me explain why. We should expect the jet because we know that they're not rushing A. If they're not rushing A, the big chance they're trying to do a B hit or a C hit. No matter what, the hit, there's most likely going to be one lurking. Most likely. So that would be 80%. You should be expecting someone to stay in the open, to tuck in the corner, to tuck in lobby, or just pushing to get space. Why is he doing that? Is because if this hit fails, well, they have a backup plan, and that person can give them a lot of space by staying here. If you guys remember, when they did the B hit, our REYNA's team, when they did the B hit, when they were trying to go C originally, they died because someone flanked. So this guy, as a measure, is looking for flank, plus getting space for his teammate as a backup plan. So that's why when you're coming out of here, you should be expecting someone to stay there. And then let's keep going. They're playing C, like I said, they're going C. So here, he's aiming nowhere. First issue. And then here, aiming nowhere. And he's exposing himself to this common angle that everyone plays over here because they want to get a quick shot and be able to run away. And in this case, our boy is not pre-aiming there, and he dies because of it. Let's keep going. Here, he hears the guy on the left side, but like I said, our player doesn't really expect people to come out of the angles. So he panicked, he sprayed instead of using movement, and then he dies. Here's sound that they're rushing A. One drop, so he should be focusing to the guy that's dropping. But here, he sprayed for too long on the Yoru. Then he's exposing himself to a lot of angles, and then he dies. And one big problem here is that he made sound coming out here. Oh my god, I'm exposing to a lot of angles, so I need to be ready, right? I should not be focusing on the guy that can't shoot back and has a flash in the open, but I should have been target switching right away. Even before that, I should have been playing a better crosshair placement, not focusing on that guy. Because the moment Yoru sees you, the rest of his team will swing you right away, so that means you have a chance at winning, and you're not going to be ability assaulted. So what that means is, for example, you're playing here, and the enemy team is rushing, right? Is rushing. Here, we have this guy, for example, this guy. If they don't push you, if they don't see you, and they, for example, jump peek, and you're running away here, well, then they would use utility to kill you, right? So that's the problem of not being aggressive in this angle, is that you can really die easily. They can wallbang you to that box, and they can use utility to kill you. So that's why the plan was really good. And what's really good as an opportunity is that they were not expecting you to be there, and what they did right away is swing you right away. Instead of using utility to push you out and kill you for free, they swung you. So what's important is to understand that, oh, since they swing me, I can play crosshair placement on them, and maybe I have a better chance to win the fight instead of getting utility stomped. So that was just threat level, not understanding who to kill and things like that. But really good plan. I like it. And that's all for the video, guys. If you enjoyed, there's some free coaching, paid coaching in my Discord. Check that out so you can get these VOD reviews for yourself.